Now, if you are following me on Twitter, which you should be, at Eve Marie Torres, then you know that I sent a tweet out to my followers saying that if you sent me a question, or tweeted me a question, that I would answer some of the best ones in a video blog. Now, this is just an opportunity for me to get to know my believers, and for my believers to get to know me a little bit. So here we go. I'm going to answer a few of your questions. The first one is from Lee X. Lee. Her real name is Leah Michelle. Leah, I think. And her question was, have you ever seen anything paranormal or extraterrestrial? What a good question. It's actually interesting because I used to love the X-Files. And I was always convinced that there was, extraterrestrial activity out there, which only made sense because the universe is just so big. But in 8th grade, I was at the swimming pool of one of my good friends and her apartment complex. And we were just swimming, and it was actually nighttime. And I looked up in the sky, and I wasn't quite sure at first what I saw. Then it was like very, very clear, and it was just kind of moving across the sky, and it was shaped like a disc. So like a circular disc. It was gray. And it was big enough that you could definitely see the shape and color. It wasn't just like something like a black dot. It's like you could see the color of it. And it was just kind of moving across the sky like this. And I was just staring at it, and I went and jumped up on top of like the hot tub to get a better view. Then I came back down, and I went in the pool, and I said, "Kristen, do you see that?" And I pointed to it, and she looked at it, and she freaked out. Okay, she jumped on top of me like I literally was like drowning. Okay, she jumped on top of me. What is that? What? I just could not believe it, what she was seeing, and was almost in denial, like screaming at me, like telling me that wasn't there. And but I was just trying to stay calm, and I was just almost excited, like in awe. And I was looking around to see if anybody else was around to see it, but I didn't see anyone. So technically, that's an unidentified flying object. I couldn't identify it, so I guess it's a UFO. So that's my only experience with something maybe considered paranormal. I didn't hear anything about it in the news later, but who knows really what it was. I know I couldn't explain it. So that's my answer to you, Leah. The next question is from Bella Neidhart, and her real name is Bella Sanchez. And she says, who is your favorite football team? Well, I guess I have two. One for college, one for pros. Now, clearly, my favorite college team, despite all the controversy in the news that we've received in the past year or so, I'm still a die-hard USC Trojans fan. So, Trojan football all the way. I'm still so proud to be alumni of USC, and very proud of our football team. Now, as far as pros go, I'd have to say I'm a Broncos fan, because I'm from Denver, so it kind of goes with the territory, right? So that's the answer to your question, Bella. All right, the next question, let's see, is from Jade, and her Twitter name is Cena X Orton X fan. Cena Orton fan. She said, my question is, what's your best advice for girls out there that want to become WWE divas? Well, this is a hard question because there's a few different ways to go about doing it, but I can give you kind of some basic advice depending on which route you want to go. Bottom line is, WWE looks for divas who are smart, sexy, and powerful, right? They want to see confidence. They want to see someone who believes in themselves, because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. So really, that's the first step, is building confidence in whatever it is that you do. So find a hobby, whether it's martial arts, whether it's actually training to wrestle, whether it's dance, or whether it's sports. Find something that you feel like gives you confidence and makes you a powerful woman. Then from there, I would say try to just build your athleticism. And if you don't actually have a wrestling school that you can go to start learning how to wrestle, I'd say focus on other martial arts. Maybe jiu-jitsu, of course I'm partial to that, is a great option, or boxing, or some other kind of physical fitness, because clearly you have to be athletic to get in the ring and go out there and compete every night. So find something, become athletic, become involved in a sport or martial arts or something. Now, to take one step further, if you actually want to make connections with the WWE, our training school is in Florida. Florida Championship Wrestling is in Tampa. So you would have to basically go to the school and do a tryout with them. So obviously, you know, there is a certain level of marketability that you have to have as well. And so they want to see someone who's well put together, who can represent them well, and you know, who has a good attitude, most importantly. So that's my advice to you. I hope that helps. So the next question is from Dale, DPW11464, and he says, Coke or Pepsi? Well, Dale, I actually don't drink soda anymore. I gave it up. But when I did drink soda, I loved a nice cold Pepsi. Next, let's see. Stevie H is the Twitter name. His real name says S. Haynes, so I'm going to go ahead and guess his name is Stevie Haynes. His question is, which diva inspires you most to improve? Well, Stevie, there's two kind of parts to that question, two answers to that question. One is, I feel like it's very important for me to constantly remember where kind of women's wrestling and where being a diva came from. So I'm constantly looking at old YouTube videos of you know, divas who've really made a mark and who are still known today, like Lita, like Molly Holly, all these amazing previous divas who kind of set the bar. And it's important for me, as someone who's always trying to improve, to look at that and say, okay, this is where I want to be, or take certain things, there's certain elements, and say, this is what made this person special, this is what made this person stand out, and just kind of observe those, and that's very inspiring. Now, on the other hand, for today's generation of divas, which we still have an amazing generation right now, there are divas within the current roster that I definitely look up to, and I'd have to say Beth Phoenix is one specifically that is inspiring to me, because she has achieved everything that she has simply through hard work and simply through just working her butt off. And she loves what she does, and not only does she work hard, but she's not afraid to help other people. And I think that goes a long way, because I think you can go so much further in life when you are a positive asset to all those around you, and that's what she is, and that's what I aspire to be. And it's important to have that good attitude, especially when you're learning. And believe it or not, I'm still learning, I'm still improving, I'm still training hard, so she's a good inspiration for me. So I think that's a wrap for the first video blog answering your tweets. There were still other questions that were awesome, and actually I may get to them in later blogs, but I wanted to give you an opportunity to send in more questions and for me to answer more. So this is just the first of many. So keep the questions coming. You can tweet me at Eve Marie Torres, or find me at evetorres.com.